Yeah. And if you don't mind, put the link onto the group because they have a lot of people joined the group recently. Huh? No, in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Huh? We're finishing this page today. All right? We are officially on live. People all over the world can now see us. This is amazing. They can see all the way into the holy city of Tzfas. Brilliant. All right? Now, I want to remind you what's going on. Rav Chia Bar Abba says that if you left food from Friday to Shabbos contrary to the rabbinic decree, he says whether you did it on purpose or whether you did it by accident, it will have the exact same rule. Now the question, what is the rule? Is the rule that it is permitted or is the rule that it is prohibited? Ruvain. Is the rule that they're both prohibited or the rule is that they're both permitted? Huh? Yeah, when it says no difference, does it mean that there's no difference and they're both permitted, or there's no difference and they're both prohibited? Huh?
It's both. They are prohibited to eat on Shabbos, but after Shabbos they can eat.
Again, it sounds extremely sophisticated, but has nothing to do with anything that our Gemara says. Guys, why don't you actually look in the Gemara and actually find what it says instead of trying to guess? I don't think it's funny. Huh?
The rich man.
I never met a rich man that laughs like that. I met a lot of rich men, but I never met a rich man that laughs like that. All right? Only the poor men trying to copy the rich man, they laugh like that. Anyways. Okay, guys, listen. We have a question. And if we don't know the answer to this question, there's no point. I might as well shut the feed and say, I'm sorry, my class is not holding here. You guys online know what you're talking about. These guys have no clue what's flying. And yeah.
I gave up, Rabbi.
You gave up. Well, why did you give up? Why don't you read the Gemara instead of looking at me? Hello? Knock, knock.
What are you asking?
What am I asking? I'm asking when Rabbi Chia Bar Abba says that there's no difference between on purpose or by accident. Is he talking that that both of them are okay or both of them are not okay?
This is the same question I would have liked to have been answered a few days ago.
Okay, stop trying to excuse yourself for not doing what you should have done.
So I'll take a guess.
Yeah, what's the guess?
Former.
Wrong.
The latter.
Wrong.
It depends.
No.
I have no idea.
Stands unresolved.
It's a machlokes.
Yeah, Rabbi.
It's a machlokes.
Machlokes.
Yeah.
Between who and who?
Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Kopel.
Huh? Who is the machlokes? The argument is between two people. Who is it between?
Rabbi and Rabbi Yosef.
Huh? Close. Thanks for reading. Thank God you could actually read the Talmud. Who's the argument between? Nu.
Yosef. Rabbi Yosef.
Rabbi and Rabbi Yosef are on one side of the argument, and the other side of the argument is? No.
Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak.
No. Rab Nachman Bar Yitzchak. Thank you. Somebody actually paid a little bit of attention to what's going on. Okay? I'm seriously doubting whether... There was Rabbi Nachman before Rabbi Nachman. Yes. I hate to break it to you. Okay? Rabbi Nachman ben Yitzchok, Bar Yitzchok. Nachman Bar Yitzchok, Ha-Amoira. He's an Amoira. Anyways. Okay, guys, come on, guys. Unfortunately, I say fortunately you learned the Gemara previously, but unfortunately you don't remember it. You're not getting it, people. Something's wrong here. What am I gonna do? Should I yell at you in front of all the people online? It's not nice. To experience me yelling at you? Why? So they should come to yeshiva to get yelled at? No one wants to come to yeshiva to get yelled at.
It's a good therapy, Rabbi.
It's a good therapy to get yelled at?
Depends on the person. I used to get it every time in school, Rabbi.
What?
In school,
Okay, guys. I don't know why I have to do this, but I need to seemingly give you a recap of the Gemara. But with that recap, I'm even wondering if I should give it, because if you're not going to listen to the recap the same you listen to the cap to begin with, then
You actually say the cap, like, were you referring to something that wasn't true, or were you saying that the cap was writing something else?
I don't know.
If you were saying the cap, you were referring to something that wasn't true. That's one of the coolest things I've heard a rabbi say in my entire life.
I don't know what you're talking
You're
about.
using something.
Well, there's recap, so then there's the cap. No, there's a cap and the recap.
Okay, you weren't using it.
What
Huh?
are you talking about, bro?
I was lying. I kind of don't care.
Bro, let's get into the Gemara.
Okay. Let's understand what's going on. Rabbi Chia bar Abba made a statement. He made a statement that if you cook on Shabbos on purpose, you're not allowed to eat it. If you cook by accident, you are allowed to eat it. However, if you left from Friday to Shabbos, contrary to the rabbinic rule, he says that it will not make a difference whether you did it on purpose or by accident. That is Rabbi Chia bar Abba's statement, okay? That is his statement. Statement number one. Now, I lost you already? Huh? So maybe you read it inside and maybe you'll learn it. Read it. Rabbi. Bo minei Rabbi Chia bar Abba. Read. Yeah, read. Huh? But the last line on the previous page. What does that mean? They asked Rabbi Chia bar Abba. Continue. Yeah.
If somebody forgot a kira.
Oh, forgot a kedera on a kira. Very good. Ooh. And it was, yeah. And cooked on Shabbos. Mahu. What does Mahu mean? What is the rule? What is what ruling? How would you rule in this case? Yeah. You didn't put it on our group. We have a bunch of people waiting on our group to get our thing. Yeah. He did not answer. Good. So they asked, so explain to me, what was the question they asked Rabbi Chia bar Abba?
They asked,
You're shy, okay. No, let's go.
So they were asking from Rabbi Chia bar Abba,
yeah,
or not, if you kill someone if he's dying.
No. Come on. Bro, it's not a kindergarten over here. We're in a serious class over here.
Okay,
yeah.
What to do if you left a pot on top of a kira on Shabbos?
What would be wrong with leaving a pot on top of a kira?
If the food cooked on Shabbos.
Yeah, and when did you put the pot on?
Friday.
Yeah, so what would be the problem with that?
So if it cooks on Shabbos.
So why is that a problem?
If you forgot the pot on the stove is a problem.
Why?
Because if you remember the pot, you'd be able to take it off.
Right, and if you didn't remember the pot, what did you do wrong? What did you do wrong over here?
The pot on the stove
okay, so what's wrong with that?
Cooking.
No. I hate to break it to you, but there is no problem cooking on Shabbos if the action was done prior to Shabbos. En shum isur levashel b'Shabbat im asita et ha'maaseh leftei Shabbat. Rak im asu et ha'maaseh b'toch Shabbat. Here now we even have a Hebrew and English here. There is no prohibition whatsoever to cook on Shabbos if the action was done before Shabbos. Only if the action is done on Shabbos it is prohibited. So if I put it on Friday and I left it to Shabbos, what did I do wrong? And what's wrong with forgetting? Why can't I forget it? I just told you that there's no problem with cooking on. You said it's a problem with cooking. It's not a problem with cooking. Stop with your groof and ketuf. We want to hear Yosef, you tell us the answer. What's wrong with leaving from Friday to Shabbos? And what's wrong with not doing Grufa Ketuma?
By not doing that, the fire is going to be strong.
And therefore, what's going to happen? And what's the big deal? So what? So what's the problem? What's the problem there?
You might want to play with the fire on Shabbos.
Oh, so we have some Jew over here that actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
I would say unlike you, but that would be mean.
No, that's not true. He knows what he's talking about. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about.
Again, there is no problem. If you leave a pot on the kira from Friday to Shabbos, there is no issue with cooking. There's no issue with cooking. The only issue is that person would have transgressed a rabbinical decree called gezerah. That the gezerah is that you should not do that. And why did the rabbis make that decree, Yaakov? Oh, so that a person doesn't stoke the flame on Shabbos. Because if you stoke the flame on Shabbos, then you are breaking Shabbos. But if you did not stoke the flame on Shabbos and you put food on Friday that cooked on Shabbos, there's no problem, at least biblically. The rabbis prohibited it in order to prevent you from stoking the flame on Shabbos. Right? So, what did a person do wrong by leaving their food from Friday to Shabbos? Rabbi, or not yet Rabbi, Yosef Forrester.
Putting themselves in a position where they might be tempted to poke the fire.
Wrong. What did they do wrong if they left from Friday to Shabbos? I want you to pinpoint. What did they do wrong?
They did it on purpose.
They didn't do it. You're saying they might, but they didn't. So what did they do wrong? If a guy leaves from Friday to Shabbos and he doesn't stoke the flames, what did he do wrong? Huh? What did he do wrong if he didn't if he put from Friday to Shabbos and he didn't stoke the flames? What did he do wrong?
He forgot about it.
Huh?
Therefore, he may have violated rabbinic.
Huh?
He may have violated the rabbinic.
He may have violated the rabbinic.
He has.
He did violate the rabbinic decree. Well, maybe he did. The rabbinic decree is don't do it. You did it. Now you've violated a rabbinic decree. So thank you, Yaakov. Knows what he's talking about. We said this already before. But the only thing is half noticed. This time it was he half knew what he's talking about. He said maybe. Not maybe. If you left it from Friday to Shabbos, you broke a rabbinic decree. That is what you did wrong.
Whether it was intentional or unintentional.
The rabbis told you not to do it. You did it. You broke the decree. Now the question is, did you break the decree intentionally or unintentionally? But you broke the decree by doing it.
So it's like if you broke the decree and you meet the food.
Oh, that's very good. Very good. Repeat it, please.
If you broke the decree, can you meet the food?
So that is the question over here. The rabbis made a decree. Now, when they made a decree, did they attach to the decree a consequence that says you can't eat the food? Or didn't they attach this consequence to the decree? That's the whole question that they asked Rabbi Chia Barab. Rabbi Chia Barab was asked, if you forgot a pot on the kira and it cooked on Shabbos, what is the din? He basically saying you broke a rabbinic decree. You did not listen to this guy that looks like he's Arabic. You know what they call it? You know what they call it in the Arab world? They call it a fatwa. You ever heard of a fatwa?
Yeah. A decree.
Fatwa.
Decree, Rabbi.
They did not listen to the fatwa. Fatwa.
He said he's a Yashkin, actually.
So he's a Yashkin Arab. He still knows what a fatwa is. You know what?
Rabbi, I know what a fatwa is.
You know what a fatwa is? Fatwa. What's a fatwa?
In the Ottoman Empire, they used to issue fatwa to killing their own sons so that they won't ascend to the throne of the Sultan.
Fatwa. What's a fatwa?
It's a decree.
A decree. Same thing. We call it a gezerah, and they call it a fatwa. Yeah? What?
It's used differently.
No, it's not. A gezerah and a fatwa are the same thing.
Rabbinical decree
It's a fatwa.
is to help people.
Some of their decrees also help people. No, what do you think? All their decrees is killing people. Only many of them. Not all of the decrees
In
are
order
to kill
to
people.
kill someone, they need a fatwa also.
They need a fatwa. Yeah.
To execute someone.
Yeah. Anyways, I tell you, with the fatwa, I actually once spoke to a guy. I forgot what it was. There was some Arab in the Israeli jail that he claimed that he had to have some particular, something for his religion. And so, according to Israeli law, if it's religious, then they have to do it. So the Israeli jail actually have online. They have these Muslim imams, sheiks. I don't know what they call them, and they call them up. They say, "Is this true?" And one time the guy called him up, and the imam was so angry at him. What do you mean he's talking? What he's talking about? I'm issuing a fatwa right now that he should not have it. And they came back to him. Now you have a fatwa. You can't do it. Oh, you got a fatwa. There you go.
How do you know the Arabs are online?
Huh?
Like the Arab imams, how do you know they're not going to lie just to like benefit the Arabs?
It's also like a facet.
I don't know. Anyways, but let me tell you something. It's very important to realize that this Gemara, there's a few important pieces, and I hope you now understand it.
Yes, Rabbi.
They asked Rabbi Chia a question. The rabbis made a gezerah, and the gezerah was do not leave from Friday to Shabbos. That was the gezerah that the rabbis made. Not to leave the food on before Shabbos, to cook on Shabbos, unless, of course, you did gerufa uktuma. Nachon. Right? Now the question is, when they made this
Don't leave the pot on fire.
from Friday to Shabbos. Yeah? Yeah? And by the way, if you remember the previous Gemara, there was a whole discussion of when it is. Is it only if it's machal ben derisoi, not machal ben derisoi, mistamak v'yofalim, mistamak geraloi, if it was fully raw, not fully raw. I'm just going to tell you, there's a bit of a discussion when this rabbinic decree applies. However, according to every single opinion, there is a situation where you're prohibited from leaving a pot from Friday to Shabbos. Now, not every situation, but again, according to every opinion, there is a situation that you would be prohibited from doing so. Now, the question is, what if you broke this rabbinic decree? What if you broke this rabbinic decree?
You're not allowed to eat food.
Why not? Are you making a fatwa right now? You're not even ordained as a rabbi. How could you make a
Rabbi,
fatwa?
he can't eat it because he did it unintentionally.
Huh?
He can't eat it because he didn't.
Who said he did it unintentionally?
Here.
You're reading further on in the Gemara. The question again, if you don't understand the question, you can't understand the answer. Okay? The question is, what happens if contrary, and that's why if you listen to the terminology that I said in the beginning of the class, what happens if contrary to the rabbinic decree, you left Friday to Shabbos? In other words, you broke a rabbinic decree. Okay? You didn't cook on Shabbos because since you put it there Friday, it's not called cooking on Shabbos. Okay? You didn't stoke the coals, right? That's breaking Shabbos, right? All you did was transgress. You failed to uphold a rabbinic decree. That's it. Now the question is, if a person fails to uphold the rabbinic decree, are they allowed to eat that food or are they not allowed to eat the food after the fact? Now I want to explain to you, so you should know a little bit of the background on what's going on over here, if you don't mind listening for 2 seconds, okay?
Yeah.
The rabbis make a decree. And when the rabbis make a decree, they can choose whether there should be a consequence or not. They can choose to make a decree and say there's no consequence, which means, listen, you broke it between you and God. You didn't listen to the rabbis, right? God asked you to listen to the rabbis. If a person doesn't listen to the rabbis, that's between them and God. The rabbis could do that. Or the rabbis could make a consequence and say, if you do this, then there is going to be a consequence as follows. It's up to the rabbis when they make a gezerah, how exactly to apply their gezerah. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now let's understand. The rabbis made a gezerah, you should not leave food on the fire that's not groofed or ketufed from Friday to Shabbos. If a person broke that decree and actually left the food from Friday to Shabbos, are they allowed to eat that food on Shabbos or not? That was the question, right? Meaning, after the fact, is there a consequence or isn't there a consequence? All right? Now, what happened when they asked this rabbi the question? What did he answer? What did he answer?
I'm going to bed.
He did not say he's going to bed. What did he answer? Huh? He did not answer nothing. He didn't answer. He just was quiet. He was quiet.
He didn't
No,
say
he
a word.
answered nothing. That would be an answer. He didn't answer. He was silent. He was silent. He was silent, and he didn't say anything.
Why?
Huh?
Because he didn't know, or he just didn't want to know?
Oh, good
I think
question.
he didn't know.
You should find the gravesite of Rabbi Chia Bar Abba. Take a trip, go to his gravesite, say a kapitel Tehillim over there,
Where is he
and then
buried?
say, "My dear friend Rabbi Chia Bar Abba, please explain to me why you didn't answer them right away, why you went home. Was it that you didn't know the answer, that you didn't want? Maybe you were hungry. Maybe you're hungry and you want dinner or something. Where is he buried? Let's ask my dear friend Gemini. You ever heard of Gemini?
Yeah.
He's one of my friends that somehow usually knows the answer to my questions. Is it? Is it? Yeah, good. Well, it's called Gemini.google.com. Okay? And we'll ask, where is, let's write this in. Rabbi Chia Bar Abba buried. There you go. Let's see if he knows. Let's see if Gemini doesn't know, then I definitely don't know. Based on search results, there's no specific information readily available about the burial site of Rabbi Chaim Bar Abba. Oh, sorry. Chia.
Apologize to your AI.
No, because he changed it to Chaim. No, he changed it to Chaim. It's Chia. Chia.
Make sure to mention that he's a Talmudic scholar.
Okay, Chia Bar Abba,
The great sage of the Talmud.
the Talmudic sage. All right, let's see if he knows. There you go. Based on research result, the burial place of Talmudic sage Rabbi Chia Bar Abba is stated to be in Tzvat.
Oh,
No way.
Oh, he must be upset at us.
That is incredible.
He must be so upset at us.
There you go, right here in town.
I'm going.
One source, he's going, that's it. One source specifically mentions to the left of the path,
Wow.
there is a small road between the rocks, and to the south of the road, there is a high rock that looks like a single wall. That is where Rabbi Chia mentioned in the Idra Rabbah. No, that's no. Some people say it's under the new industrial zone of Tzvas. Again, he's buried here somewhere in Tzvas. I'm not sure where. Yeah. There you go. Huh? Go dig. He's saying to go start digging. Yeah. Start digging. Yeah. There you go. Now, for some reason, he did not answer the question right away. Again, the question was, if you left the pot on the stove from Friday to Shabbos, contrary to the rabbinic rule, neged. I didn't say you knew the gzera. Neged agzera sita. Ulay yadata, ulay lo yadata. Yeah. So if a person did that, what is the rule? He was quiet and didn't say anything. The next day he came out and he said, if you cook on Shabbos by accident, you could eat it. But if you cook on purpose, you're not allowed to eat it. However, regarding leaving from Friday to Shabbos, there will be no difference. That's what he said. There will be no difference. Now, the Gemara asked, there will be no difference between what and what? Meaning, obviously, there's going to be no difference between on purpose or by accident, because that's what he's saying. But there's no difference and it's going to be permitted, or no difference and it's going to be prohibited. Which one is it? What's the answer, Yaakov David? I said it earlier in class. I'm just testing today I tested you guys, asking you questions that I said yesterday in class. Right? Today I started testing you on questions that we already said in this class to see if you remember. Right? What could I do? I don't know what to do. What am I going to do? I talk and don't listen. I would say no one. Maybe one of you guys know. Does anybody know the answer? Again, there's no difference and it's permitted or no difference and it's prohibited.
No difference in prohibited.
You said prohibited. What do you say? Huh? You say permitted, he says prohibited.
If you did it with that purpose, like you didn't know the Zera and you did it, I think you allowed to it.
Okay, so you're basically, that's what your feelings are. His feelings.
What I understand. No?
His feelings. What? Yeah, it was a question. What the Gemara asked the question. What is it? Is it prohibited or is it permitted? And what's the answer of the Gemara?
There's a disagreement.
Thank you, God in the heaven, that somebody actually heard an iota of what I actually said. Machlokes. Machlokes. It is a dispute. It is disputed. Who are the disputants? Ruvain. Who are the disputants? Who are the people disputing this? Reuven. What? Close. Close, yeah. Rabbi and Rabbi Yosef are on one team. They're on one team and they both say, huh? I don't even see why we should do this here. Maybe we should close down the class. That's it. Close down. Zell, Zeigezund, have a good day. No one's listening. What are we going to do? Huh?
I don't know if I can't follow it either here or by the share.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you as follows. Okay, I spoke to you guys already yesterday, which apparently no one listened to me yesterday. So why should I say it again today? I don't know, but apparently I'm getting paid to do something, so I have to do something. So I might as well say it because that's what I'm getting paid to do. So I'll do it, even if no one's listening. That's not my fault; it's their fault. And so it's a horrible way of looking at it because then I would just be doing something for nothing just to get paid for it, and I don't like doing that. So yeah, something's wrong here. But I'll say it again anyways. Okay? You must read the Gemara and know in the Gemara what's going on. Because if you actually read it in the words and you put it in your head in the words, you would know what I'm talking about. You wouldn't be arguing. You wouldn't be stumped. These are the simplest of the simple. These are the simplest questions I could possibly ask. I couldn't ask a simpler question on this Gemara. Right? People online already saying, like, what type of students you have over there? Yeah? Huh? What type of students are going on over here? It's supposed to be tzvas. They're supposed to be serious Talmudic. Huh? Chas v'shalom. You know, we have to lift the students up instead of pushing them down. All right? Yes. Okay.
I was absent yesterday, brother. That's all.
Okay, guys. Enough garbage, okay? You got to read it again. You have to read it inside, and you have to know what's going on inside. And apparently, when I speak, it's like, you see, I'll tell you what. A lot of you guys are saying I'm having a really hard time paying attention to what's going on when you're saying it. Yeah, you know why? Because you don't know what I'm talking about. And you know why you don't know what I'm talking about? Because you didn't read it inside.
I know.
Right?
Rabbi, what do you want to know? I'll tell you.
What did they ask Rabbi Chia Barabo?
They asked.
Yeah, what does that mean? Explain it in English. Yeah.
If you left a pot on a stove on Friday going into Shabbos,
Yeah.
forgot about it. Food cooked on Shabbos.
Yeah.
What is the deal?
What is?
What is the ruling?
What would be what's the ruling with what?
The ruling with food
Yeah.
you left on the stove on Shabbos.
Yeah.
How would you? Are you allowed to eat it? Are you allowed to?
Are you allowed to eat it or not allowed to eat it?
Yeah.
Okay, what did he answer then?
He actually ran away because it was too much of a keyword to do so.
Oh,
Either that, or like he didn't know, or he was.
we have no idea why. Okay, good. We have no idea why, but for some reason he didn't say anything.
He didn't know. He went home, learned Then next day he comes out, he approaches them. He's like, "I learned it finally. I know." Maybe he was an apostle. Maybe Rabbi Kiva, sorry, Rabbi Kiva, but maybe he was an apostle. This is my theory.
He was a what?
Apostate.
Not apostate. Apostate. Yeah.
Apostate.
No, maybe not an imposter.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, he's getting somewhere.
But then he kind of.
Stop judging Rabbi Chia Bar Arba and start talking about what he said. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
Yeah.
He went home. He learned it. Next day he goes out and he finds them and he tells them, "There's no distinction." What the hell does that mean?
What does that mean? What does it mean?
That's what you got me, Rabbi.
What does it mean?
Well, that's a machlokas.
Oh, Mazel Tov! You finally got it. Machlokas. It's a machlokas. It's an argument. What he meant. There's one opinion that said it meant. One opinion said he meant what?
One opinion was
He came into the class like a boy, but he left the class as a man.
Yeah.
Rabbi, I think your therapy actually worked. It's working.
Huh? Please. Look in the Gemara. Thank you.
Starting from here.
We're not as entertaining today, unfortunately, because yeah.
Yeah. It's starting
We're
from
actually
here.
learning
You have to
for
read from
once.
here. Why? If I show you.
Yeah.
what
No, because when I'm
Rabbi Shmuel
entertaining him, I'm
is,
actually
you
teaching the Gemara. When I teach the Gemara, no one listens. I have to mamish like pull it out. Yeah.
Oh no, you have to start from here. But it's Rabbi here is over here.
What?
What was the question?
Again, there's a machloikis. What is the machloikis? What is the machloikis?
Whether it is edible or not.
Very good. Whether you're allowed to eat it or not. When he says there's no difference, and it's you're allowed to eat it, or there's no difference, and you're not allowed to eat it. Which one?
Is Rabbi.
Yeah. Continue. What's the machloikis? We said there's machloikis. What is the machloikis?
Whether it is allowed
Yeah.
to
Who
eat
says
it or not.
who says what? Machloikis is usually two different people, right? What do the sages say?
Rabbi Yosef.
Huh?
Rabbi Yosef.
Huh?
Rabbi Yosef.
Rabbi and Rabbi say that you're allowed to.
Oh, both Rabbi and Rabbi Yosef say you're allowed to eat it. Good. Yeah. And what's the other opinion? By the way, they say why you're allowed to. Why do they say you're allowed to eat it?
Intentions.
Huh?
It's based on intentions.
No. What is the reason for Rabbi and Rabbi Yosef? They say that it's both allowed.
So they were saying to do an action. Yeah, to do physical action by not doing anything. You weren't an act of omission.
Huh?
This is an act of omission.
What does that mean?
You didn't do the not doing of the thing.
And the other one is
Doing of the thing.
oh, very good. Now we have a smart bachrol over here. He says that when a person cooks on Shabbos, they actually did an action. When they left from Friday to Shabbos, was an inaction. Even though both of them, one broke biblical and one broke rabbinical, but that's not the point. Okay, somebody tried to mention rabbinical versus biblical. No, the point is an action versus an inaction. If a person breaks a rule by an inaction, which means the rule required him to do an action, yeah, then we're going to allow him to eat it according to Rabbah and Rabbi Yosef, right? Why is it an inaction? Why is he only breaking an inaction when he leaves from Friday to Shabbos? Why is he only, when he put it on, maybe he broke the rabbinic decree and he put it on. Why?
It's Friday. You're not breaking Shabbos on Friday.
Right. So when did he break the rabbinic decree? When he didn't take it off. Right? Again, when he put it on, he was allowed to put it on, but he was meant to. He was required to take it off. Correct. As soon as Shkia comes and he failed to take it off, he broke the rabbinic decree by an inaction, because the rabbinic decree would have required him to do an action, and he failed to do the required action. Bad boy. Bad boy.
So what did you do?
Huh?
Beat him up.
Says you can eat it.
Beat him up, Rabbi.
So according to them, therefore they say, if this happens, you're allowed to eat it, even if you did it on purpose.
Who is the motivated? Who is the motivated?
You're too far down the
Yeah.
You're cool. We're like going really slowly, so chill out.
Who is the motivated? Slowly.
לאט לאט.
Yeah.
Rabbi Nachman Bar Yitzchak
Yeah.
brings in the whole purpose on mistakes.
Yeah.
Rabbi Nachman Bar Yitzchak prohibit.
He doesn't allow it because he doesn't believe in
The theory.
the sinfulness of human beings.
The what?
No, that would be. No, that's not
He doesn't believe in the simplicity
no,
of
no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what you're saying. You can't eat it because then you're gonna start forgetting the purpose.
Oh, so Rav Nachman Yitzchak says you might play games, you might trick it, you might try to play claims.
You can't play games
Say-
with halacha. That's like.
That's exactly why Rabbi Nachman Bar Yitzchak said, in order to prevent you from playing games. Exactly, because everybody would make up. They would do it purposely by accident. Yeah. Yeah, good. You got it? Get it? Got it, good. Weiter. Next. Yeah, continue, please. Yeah.
You bring a challenge.
We bring a challenge. Now we're going to challenge. Who we're challenging? Huh? Why do you say that? Why do you say why do you say we're challenging Rav Nachman? Why? No, it's actually not true, and I'm trying to figure out why he said that. Again, from the perspective of the Gemara, when you see the word mesve, who are you supposed to think it's challenging?
Tanakama.
Huh?
The first.
No, it can't challenge the Brisa because a Brisa is a rabbinic is a Tanaic quote, and a Tanaic quote you don't challenge a Tanaic quote. So when it says we're challenging, what are we challenging? Who's we challenging?
The Amora.
Huh?
The Amora.
Who we're challenging? Who? Give me a name. Who we're challenging? Huh? Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Nachman, everybody named every single name that we were dealing with. The fact is that at this point in the Gemara, we know that it's challenging one of them. We don't know which one it's challenging. We don't know who it's challenging. Okay, because when you see a Meisvei, you have to understand what happened in the Gemara prior, and you're going to have to read the Meisvei to understand who it's challenging. It's not necessarily going to be so clear right away who it's challenging. Yeah? Gut verstanden?
Verstanden.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Yeah? So who's
Maybe,
challenging Yaakov?
We don't know.
We don't know at this point. Your name's Yaakov?
All of our names are Yaakov.
We're all Yaakov. Children of Yaakov.
Children of Yaakov Avinu. Good. Let's continue. Yeah.
Shabbat.
Yeah.
Inadvertent, he can eat. Intentional, he can't eat it. Where does this come from?
Okay, so before we get there, whose opinion is that consistent with? Ah, who's consistent?
Statement we had at the beginning.
Oh, it's inconsistent with him. What about Rabban Rabbi Yosef?
Definitely doesn't work with Yosef.
All three opinions seem to be contrary to what it says. Yeah. So now this is a challenge. We're challenging. Who are we challenging?
Torah. All parties involved.
All involved parties. We're challenging. Okay. So you're gonna again. I want you guys to read again. You're gonna read that. Read the words. See what's challenging. Understand it. If you don't understand it, ask me while I'm sitting here. Don't come to the next shiur and don't know what you're talking about. And then you're gonna be like, "Oh, Rabbi, I didn't understand yesterday. You should have answered me the question better yesterday." Yes, if you didn't know it yesterday, you can ask me until you know it. I know a guy that told me once he had one of the Rosh Yeshivas in Chabad. They actually call him the Rosh. The Rosh is the Rosh Yeshiva of California. They have a yeshiva in LA, and the Rosh is the Rosh Yeshiva of that yeshiva. And this guy once came to the Rosh was known for being a very how should I say it, aggressive person, right? So people sometimes were afraid to speak to him because they might get a kick in the tuchus or something like that. He was an aggressive guy. I don't know if maybe he still is. So this guy came to him and asked him a question, and the Rosh answered, and he says, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand the answer." And the Rosh answered him a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time, and the Rosh started turning red and green or whatever it is. He kept saying, "I'm sorry, I don't understand," and answer. It took maybe 5, 10, 15 times till he finally got the answer. But the Rosh kept on repeating himself. You know why? Because an educator is meant to make sure you know and understand it. Now, if you come to me with a question and you leave and say you understand it, whose fault is it that you don't understand it? Your fault, right? Whose fault it is if you ask again and again and again and I can't answer you the question until you can understand, then it's my fault. But if you ask a question, I give you an answer, you're like, okay, fine, and you walk away and you don't really understand the answer, you didn't do me a favor, you didn't do yourself a favor. You just wasted my time and your time.
Problem is though, like as soon as you begin,
Huh? Nothing. Good. We're going to officially end the class today, even though we did not finish the quota, unfortunately. Right? The reason is because I don't really see how I could finish the quota when you guys don't know necessarily the beginning part of the quota. I want you to read up until the word kasha. Yeah? Kasha. Yeah? Till the word kasha, and I want you, it's like its own line. You see the word kasha is on its own line?
Kasha, yeah.
I want you to read up until there and know it perfectly.
That is the quota for the
100%.
week? That is the quota for the week?
What?
That is the quota of the week?
No, the quarter to the week is all the way till the end. Today, I want you to finish there, and we're gonna have to finish the week's quota tomorrow because I hope by then you'll actually know it's flying so that I can finish the quota. All right. If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to ask. If you're online, all you got to do is put it in the comments, and if you do it in the next 10 seconds or so, I might actually be able to answer you live on the live stream. Otherwise,
Please
maybe
press
it's
the like, share, and subscribe button.
please
like,
follow.
share. Oh, and you could join our WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
You could join our WhatsApp group. If you click on this thing on the screen, you see this thing on the screen? Yeah, it's called a QR code. QR code. If you click on it, the QR code, yeah, then you come to my WhatsApp group.
Very nice. Technology.
Anyways, have a great day. We'll see you later. And thanks for joining. All the best.